On behalf of Arya College of Engineering and IT, I extend a warm welcome to Mr. Karthik Poovanam, a motivational speaker, a very eminent and dynamic personality who is here with us for his session on conscious state of mind. I also welcome all the dignitaries and students in this highly enlightening session. First and foremost, I request all the dignitaries on the dais to please come forward for lamp lighting and pay reverence to Ma Saraswati. Of Engineering and IT to please formally welcome our guest Mr. Karthik Poovanam by presenting him a bouquet. Thank you, sir. I also request to please welcome Mr. Karthik Poovanam by presenting him a bouquet. Thank you, sir. And now I request Professor Arya, Principal of Arya College of Engineering and IT, to please come and address the gathering.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning. On behalf of all the faculties, students, staff, and the management of Arya College of Engineering and IT, I welcome Mr. Karthik Poovanam, the eminent speaker, who is here to motivate we all. Sir, you are continuously delivering the motivational lectures on conscious states of mind, and in this area you have a very wide experience how to motivate the young generation, the students, the professionals in corporate sectors as well as in all different organizations. Like recently, I think yesterday, Sir was with the officers in police academy. There he conducted session to motivate the IAS and IPS. So we are highly thankful to you, sir, that you are here to motivate our students, and I assure you, my dear students, that you will get benefited by the words, by the motivational words of Karthik sir. So once again, I would like to thank Karthik sir for your presence and for spending the time from your busy schedule of your this motivational lecture series. Thank you once again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And now I take the privilege of introducing our honorable guest. We have here with us Mr. Karthik Poovanam, who is a peak performance coach and author. He has authored over 80 ebooks which bring about creating well, being both and emotional and mental levels. He has delivered sessions on shift in the conscious states of mind in reputed institutions like ITBP, National Police Academy, IIT Hyderabad, Mumbai, IIT Varanasi, BITS Pilani, Hyderabad, CBIT Hyderabad, and many to name. It has been attended by thousands of students. His program called Unleash the True Potential of a Teacher has found good acceptance in various international schools. People from all walks of life have been a part of the session, Shift in the Conscious States of Mind, that include institutional heads, organizational heads, CEO of companies, IPS officers, students, engineers, doctors, and corporate employees. Few books of Mr. Karthik Poovanam are available on international forums like Amazon, iBookstore, etc. He has helped people to become free from stress, break free from limited thinking, have vibrant relationships, and gain clarity and have a purpose to live totally with joy from countries all over the globe. We are indeed honored to have such a personality amongst us. And now, without any delay, to enlighten our students, I would like to invite Mr. Karthik Poovanam. I request the students to take so that we can begin the session. Mr. Karthik Poovanam.
Just before we begin the session, sir, a small correction. Since it's being recorded, so I wanted to make a small correction to what sir said. It was not attended by IAS officers and all. It was for officers in the Rajasthan Police Academy. So, and also the recruits who are, going to be assigned to various police stations. They were also participating. So that was the thing. And today what I will be sharing with you is not a motivational lecture, because most of the times what happens is when you see a person with a mic and when most of the photographs are initially presented and a lot of people are there who are seen, you initially get an impression that it is a motivational lecture. So this is not any motivational lecture. I will be sharing with you certain techniques. It will be very participatory, and with your involvement, if your involvement is high, we can make it extremely more powerful. If your involvement is low, that impact will be less, your takeaway will be less. So first thing to begin with is, how many hours we are going to be spending together, maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours, whatever the time is. So since you people are already here, it's very, very important first to have a mind that there is something I'm going to learn. Okay, that would be good, right? Yes or no? So keep the session very, very participatory, and don't worry about the person next to you for the next whatever time that you will be spending. How many people are here? Around approximately? 200, 250, whatever the number is, just get this, there is just two people. One is you, one is me. Can we have that in mind? Because you all will be seeing each other every day. Probably, after tomorrow, we don't know when we will meet again, or we might meet, or we might not meet physically. We don't know about this. So, today's topic, what we will be experiencing, or rather, the solution that we will be taking is how to deal with negative emotions. Seems to be a useful topic to all of you?
Yes, sir.
So have you all, is there anybody here who has not experienced any negative emotion in his life or her life? Is there anybody who has never experienced any negative emotion? Nobody, right? You all experienced it. So I want you to share with me, what kind of negative emotions you might have experienced. Because let's make it very relevant. Let it come from within you. The problems, let it come. See, you will give a problem and I will give the solution, which will be helpful to everybody, your friends, your colleagues, everybody. Yeah? Will it be good? Rather than, me showing some PowerPoint presentation which has no relevance to your life. यहाँ पे कुछ दिखा दूंगा और उसका कोई relevance ही नहीं रहेगा आपके life में. So what will you take away? It will not be useful to you. Isn't it? So what kind of negative emotions as somebody, as students that you would go in your life? I'll tell you, when I was a student, I used to go through this negative emotion of feeling bad if I get low marks. I felt very bad, if I failed in my exams. What kind of negative emotions you go through? Somebody from this room, tell me. Just start speaking up. See, that's why I said, don't worry about the person next to you. Nobody is going to make a meme and put it in Facebook. तो बिल्कुल चिंता मत कीजिए.
Mike.
And keep the session quite interactive. So let's give a round of applause to her because she has shown me
First of all, greetings to you, sir.
Thank you.
And greetings to all the students. What I felt in my life.
Can you share your name also? What's your name?
Yeah, sorry to address that. My name is Arya.
Okay.
So, what I felt in my life, the negative emotions that are sad, happy, disgusting, some type of very basic emotions like mixed feelings, or sometimes very complex emotions like what will be I do in life ahead, and am I good or not? Do I deserve this or not? So these kind of emotions that exist in my day-to-day life.
Very nice. You all relate with her, what she said? Two more, we will take two more opinions. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Go ahead for this one. Yeah, there.
The negative emotions that I have felt in my life are loneliness, as if people do not understand me enough, as if I do not deserve what I'm getting, and sometimes even if I'm working hard, I'm not getting as much as I'm working hard for it. So loneliness and a lot of other things related to, when people do not be with you, when you do not get enough things that you deserve, and often that maybe I got a lot of responsibilities before, it was my time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Any one more person, and then we will friends also about what they said. Yeah.
So it's my honor to speak in front of you. I would like to tell you a small story. When I was in the 10th
What's
class.
your good name?
So my name is Roshan Rajbhagat and I am from EC.
Oh, okay. Please go ahead.
So when I was in the 10th class, I used to come in every class in first time. But in 10th class, I was shocked that my friend got first division in his board exam, and that time I was shocked that where I made mistake and how he became first. I worked hard, but I didn't get the result, so it made me negative, and it was great disappointment for me.
Okay. Okay, Roshan. Thank you. Anybody else wants to add something?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, my name is Harsh. I am from electrical department, third year. Sir, my negative emotion is that whenever I am going to approach something, whenever I make plan to achieve something big, I become full of self-doubt whether I will be able to achieve it or not. And the negative emotions are like with friends, insecurity, inferiority complex are my basic negative emotions which fears me. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Roshan. Your person. Roshan.
My name is Harsh.
Harsh, okay, Harsh. Thank you, Harsh. Fine, you people have all listened to your friends. Let's all appreciate all the people who have shared. You know why I started asking this question? The first thing is, let me take few thoughts from your end, so that we will make it very relatable in your life. Loneliness, your friend has shared loneliness. Someone said, mixed complex emotions. You don't even understand why you're feeling bad sometimes. Complex emotions means that someone is not able to articulate what they are going through, but they are feeling terrible inside. Yeah, feeling very frustrated for no reason. Now you will know why you feel, we will discuss in detail. Insecurities your friend shared. Many of you, might have experienced. Someone said, like, give a very classical example of the movie Three Idiots. सबसे बड़ा, मैंने जो जब फेल हुआ तो दुख होता है, पर सबसे बड़ा दुख ये होता है जब हमारा दोस्त पास हो जाता है. That's also, but that's true. That's honest. These are all the feelings which happens. We all go through, including myself. I've gone through many of those emotions. See, the reason why I have first listened to you, you know why? Because very rarely in our life, there comes an occasion where people are truly willing to listen to us. Many negative emotions start coming, like loneliness, negativity, feeling bad, feeling sad, all genuinely starts coming when there is nobody to listen to you. And when I say listening does not necessarily mean you just say and I'm distracted and I listen. I am 100% listening to you, and also the person who is listening to you also has some capabilities in providing some solution to all of you, or to you for that matter. If you are saying it to your friend, probably they will come out with the ideal solution, right? Yes or no? I want to share with you one incident. Remember this name, okay? Let's take a very normal name. There was a guy called Roshan, and Roshan was doing his engineering just like the people are doing engineering. He was doing fairly well, and then if something happened in his life, let's leave that aside, let's leave Roshan aside. Remember the names, okay? I'll ask you. Let's keep one more name. Boys, what name should I keep? You tell me. Any name. Tell me any name. No. Any name for a story. No. Any name for a story. One name. Sudhir, let's keep Sudhir, okay? Okay, Sudhir is the name of the boy. Any girl's name? Payal. Okay, Payal. Let's see. Sudhir and Payal. Sudhir and Payal met in an engineering college. And they were talking very nicely, they became good friends, very nice, good WhatsApp messages, every day, everything, good, everything was fantastic. Very nice, a lot of people are smiling also, you are like, this Payal, you are all connected to Sudhir and Payal. And then, something happened. Let's leave Sudhir and Payal also aside. Then there was one person called Sukhveer. And Sukhveer was attending a placements, and in placements, most of his friends got placed. And he did not get placed. And then something very disastrous happened. I will keep this guy also aside. And let me come to this first story which I was sharing with you. What was he sharing? Who was the person I was talking to you about? What was I sharing about him?
Pursuing engineering.
He was pursuing, everything was nice. Something happened. What happened? He failed in his exams. Not final examinations. Just, the midterm exams which keeps happening, right? You have midterm exams. And then he started feeling very, very low because a lot of people started demotivating him in his own words. They're saying, what, you're not doing well. His teachers were looking down on him. Some of his friends were making fun of him. And he became very low. And then he committed suicide. Coming to this, two people, Payal and what happened? They were all enjoying, happy times, fantastic, everything was wonderful. And one day, one of them died in a road accident. And this fellow became depressed. And he fell very, very low, so low that he got into drugs, got into alcohol, all the kinds of things. Look at the other story. These are all maybe, you might have read it in papers also. I'm just changing the names, that's all. But if you today Google it, you will find hundreds of relatable stories to what I'm saying. These are not, some kalpanik in real sense, but you might also find some relevance. But we don't want to take any real names at the end of the day. Who was the last person? What was his name? And what was he saying? That he was feeling terrible because he didn't get the job and his friends got job. Over a period of time, he was simply sitting at home. He was going to interviews. He was not clearing it. Out of sheer frustration, he decided to end his life. What's common in all these stories, guys? Exactly. They were not in a position to handle their negative emotions. Today we are all sitting in a classroom. There is absolutely no problem. There is no noise outside. There is no war-like situation. We are able to hear each other very quietly. Does not necessarily mean this is the same situation in some other land like Afghanistan or Syria or in some third world countries where civil wars are happening. Please understand this. Please understand the thing which I am sharing with you. And many of the people who might have known these people, this person, these two guys or this person, they would have always felt that if they had got the right kind of support, they would not have had this kind of a disastrous situation in their life. I want to tell you that I've been working with the cops, the top cops across more than 21 states. I keep working in the rank of DGs, ADGs. I do workshops for various IAS officers across. I work with various senior leadership team. My focus is primarily on business heads. And I'm going to be sharing with you a very, very powerful and a very, very integral process which defines everything in your life. And most of the things, whatever I speak, are centered around these two things because nothing happens without these two. You do whatever you do, or you avoid whatever you avoid only because of two forces, pain and pleasure. If you want to make a note of it, people all have mobile phones with you?
Yes, sir.
So take the notes. No need to take these notes. Take that note so that it will be stored. Yeah? And I will be sharing with you very, very scientifically relevant things which are researched. Okay? Pain and pleasure. These are the two forces that define almost every decision that you make in your life. You want to avoid pain and you want to go towards pleasure. Have you seen these advertisements of cigarette smoking? Cigarette pina sehat ke liye hanikarak hai. Huh? Do you know that the smoking has increased more, not reduced? In that cigarette packet, there is all this harmful pictures which are projected. Yeah? Why do people smoke then? Yeah, because there is something called conscious mind and there is something called subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind is largely governed by a metacode which is called as neural pathway. Just you can keep this in mind. Basically, when I am doing something, as I told you, why did I tell you pain and pleasure? I want to avoid pain. We as human beings, we want to avoid pain. Is there anybody here who says, I want pain, give me pain? Why do people bunk classes? You feel pain in the classroom and you feel pleasure outside. Why do people smoke? Simply at that time, because they are getting stressed and by taking a puff, they will feel relaxed. So many of your friends, they were sharing these incidences of loneliness, anxiousness, feeling lonely. You know what happens? Every emotion that you go through in your life has a chemical basis to it. And I'm going to be sharing with you very, very effective things. You don't have to go in much detail because of the limitations of our time, we can share very, very things very effectively. And if you pursue this, you can go through the rest of your life in a much, much better way than what you are going through. Stress is nothing but a chemical called as cortisol. What? So whenever you are stressed, your brain releases a chemical called cortisol. It is called as a chemical memory. Every emotion that you go through in your life has a chemical basis to it. Like for example, if you are here or you have committed a crime, they call the forensic department. Why do they call the forensic department? Because there is some element, if your hair is left, they can take your DNA out of that. Some element of it can be found. Right? Likewise, every emotion that you go through in your life, there is a chemical basis to it. That means there is a chemical response to it. And I will give you a very classical example which everybody knows. Have you seen these commercials of Coca-Cola? You've seen, right? So what do they think? The earliest commercials have you seen, like which was shot in Rajasthan? Like in the desert, boys are playing cricket, it's very hot, sweaty, and they're feeling very thirsty. And that time Sachin Tendulkar comes and he opens that bottle. And then he says, Thanda matlab. See, what did you all say? Thanda matlab Coca-Cola. Why did you say? You see, you remember, this is how. Now you see, what happened was, the advertisement companies and the brands know how to make use of it. And when you apply it in your life, you also can really change the way you associate with things. And I will share with you the magic right now, and you can see how it is happening. What did Coca-Cola do? Coca-Cola did not come and say, drink Coca-Cola, drink Coca-Cola, drink Coca-Cola. It didn't say that. It actually told that people in the hot sun, they are thirsty. Means what do they want to avoid? They want to avoid the pain of thirst. Please understand this. Pick the science. They wanted to avoid pain. And then, when you see Sachin Tendulkar, generally what happens in your mind? Most of the Indians, we associate with a certain kind of pleasure. We see him as a certain benchmark. And then he's coming and opening it up. And now, the Coca-Cola image is flashed. So there is a link which is established between Coca-Cola and thirst. In simple, you want to avoid pain, and if you want to avoid pain, you want pleasure. So the pleasure is Coca-Cola, the thirst is pain. And you understand this very clearly. Many people who have quit smoking in their lives, you will be shocked to know that it has never been a process. That 3 days I will smoke 2 cigarettes less, 3 cigarettes. It's happened all of a sudden. Why? Because the way they associated pain and the way in which they associated pleasure was completely different. Why do you have this WhatsApp? You might have chatted with somebody for a very long time. You might have, घंटे phone में बात करना, no? Why do you think this is happening? Pleasure. And when you say pleasure, what you are essentially talking about is happy chemicals. Dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphin. These are the 4 chemicals. And I will tell you why and when and where this is happening. Do you all want to know? Whenever there is a reward, now you understand, every activity of all of yours is driven around reward. If there is no reward, your brain will not allow you to take a proactive response. Please see this. Why are you all in this engineering college? Why did your parents spend money for this engineering college for that matter? Somewhere there is already an information that when you learn, there is a reward called as a job or something. Behind any action that you do, behind any emotion that you go through, there is a reward which is associated with it. For example, why do people get into relationships? Because whenever you are in a relationship, you are having a good conversation, there is oxytocin release. And I'll show you a very practical example right now. Look at the person next to you. Look at the person next to everyone. And tell them that I wish you all the best in your life. Look at the person next to you. Look at the person next to you. Guys, say, I wish you all the best in life. Everyone. Now look at each other's faces. Look at each other's face. Just see each other's faces. It's all glowing. See? What is happening? Oxytocin is released from your brain. Now you can create it very, very consciously most of the times. Now just see this. As I already told you, we are all designed and wired to avoid pain in our life. So when someone feels lonely, despite a lot of people, today it is happening at a very large level. I was going through that also. Few years back, we are all in social media, and there was like, you can market and you can get followers. You all know that, right? So you market, you get followers, and I had over 60k followers less, and every day people were liking, and there was also an additional DG rank. A lot of cops are there in my FB as friends. There is an additional DG rank officer who was heading the law and order and of a place, and he was telling me something that, Karthik, are you feeling high just because you are getting likes? And what if you don't get likes, how will you feel? How will you feel? You don't know. If you don't get likes, how are you going to feel? And you're going out and you're talking about various things. Set me about 6 years back, and I'll tell you how much difference it's actually made in my life. And after I started sharing it with people, how much time it has saved, and how much of energy it has saved, and how it makes you as a human being. Because bottom line is simply this. I say this in all my workshops, in all my events. What's the time right now? 11:15. Okay, 11:10. When did you all come here? 9:15. Okay. What time you were? 9:15 you came? 9:50? 10 o'clock somebody of you. Okay, no problem. Now here, this time is equal for all of us, right? And I'm not talking any plain philosophy. It is reality. We are all this much time closer to our death. Yes or no? Yes. It's not that you have plenty of time, If you have, let's say, 86,400 rupees in your bank, will you just throw that? Throw it here, throw it there. So when you're feeling bad, when you're going through negative emotions, this is exactly what you're doing with your time. So most important thing in life is to realize the significance of your experience of time. Can someone tell me, I want to know your attention levels as I'm speaking, because I always love to know what the people who are receiving are feeling. What was I saying just before this? One person. What was I telling you before this time example?
About your story with the DG, you were telling that he told you something about yourself.
Exactly, very nice, very nice. So, I will keep asking you in between to know whether is it me just talking. There's no point, you know. I can go on talking, I can go on sharing so many things. This level of attention is what I like, so I want to really appreciate all of you. Because I don't know about others, I don't know how many people you are connected with in your life. But for the next, whatever time we will be spending, you are all the most important people in my life. For the next few hours, whatever time I am spending with you, you people are very important. And your time is also very, very important to me. And I don't want to waste your time. From the bottom of my heart, I want to tell you. The one thing I decided very actively at a very early stage in my life is I will never waste anybody's time in my life. Because somewhere every day in the morning I know I am closer to my death, and so is the other person. And if I am wasting that person's time, I am doing a great injustice to the time, something very valuable the person has. So I once again would like to share with you the story from where I left it. I was telling you that there were so many likes which were coming. I'm talking about some 6 years back. Comments were there. I asked my person, I appointed one person, because to unfollow so many people is a big task, right? And he had about 5,000 friends. To unfriend so many people whom you don't even know. Is it true or not? In Facebook, we know a lot of people today whom we have never ever met. Is it true or not? You all might have somebody in your Facebook page whom you have never met. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So in my list, I had so many people whom I didn't know. And I was feeling very nice when I used to post and I used to get likes. But I never knew that, I was feeling and I was enjoying the process. And my brain was also entering into something. So this officer, the rank of additional DG, told me one very, very important lesson. That Karthik, if you are experiencing certain kind of a pleasure just because of somebody, the same activity can also cause a lot of incredible pain. Use the pain. He was not so specific about pain and pleasure, but he was using this. Many a times, if you look at history or if you look at life, a very, very valuable lesson at this stage of your life. I wish so much that when I was in your age, somebody would have told me this, so much of my time would have got saved. But now that you have access to this, just do a small analysis. The person who causes maximum pain to you is always the person from whom you might have received little maximum pleasure. Think about it. Think about it. It's always the people that we are very, very connected to who cause more pain. Yes or no?
Yes.
इसने ऐसा कर दिया, कैसा कर दिया? How did this person do like this? You know what he spoke about you last night? Did he speak? Arguments. Why arguments happen between you all? तूने क्या बोला मेरे बारे में? You use this dialogue anytime? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Am I relatable? So that day, I reduced it almost to 150 friends, and now I have about 350, 351. And the first time when that activity happened, obviously when you post, you have only one person liking it, right? Just one person, obviously, because it doesn't show to so many people. I could not sleep that night. I'm not joking. I felt my oxytocin levels and serotonin levels very, very low. As I told you, a reward will activate this chemical called as dopamine in your brain. Whenever you are in a relationship or you experience good bonding with a fellow human being, oxytocin is released. Whenever you feel significant, let's say somebody is calling you to the stage and telling that you are the best student and giving you an award, what happens? Serotonin, the feeling of significance. And then, whenever when I was telling you the story, a lot of you people might have felt empathy to those people, right? They say, क्या हो गया उसके साथ? But in reality, if you know a person whom you know him personally and he has gone through this kind of emotion, what will you feel? More empathy, endorphin. And sometimes pain can be very, very deepening experience also, which I will talk to you sometime later. And over a period of time, it took me almost 3 months, I'm telling you this very, very clearly. I didn't have a process that time in place. Almost it took me 3 months to feel nice without likes. Just imagine this, I want you all to imagine this. You are putting a picture of yours on Facebook. Because today, the reason for which you are feeling bad and negative emotion is coming is not why people felt negative some 100 years back. So if I tell you some universal things as to why a cop is feeling bad, we had a workshop with commandos recently in Goa. A lot of intelligence officers were there, and I will tell you one story. It will not be relevant to you in your life. As students, just see this. Imagine this. You are putting a photograph of yours in social media and you are only getting 2 likes. How do you feel? Not even 1 like. How will you feel? You might be wondering that this fellow is simply bluffing here. He will get, some of you may browse and then you might find that there is a page called Karthik Poovanam and there are likes in that. They are all advertised likes, they are not real likes. That was for my products. So don't think it is that. You go to my one more page, you will see there are only limited amount of friends. You will see there, I am telling you reality. It's recorded, right? I can't lie to you. You will hardly find 1 or 2 or 3 likes. Does it reflect in my tone? But you will see me there doing loads of workshops. If you keep going down, you will see over 20, 25 plus countries which I used to be in a single year, doing workshops, meeting people, traveling, various places, backpacking. Nothing has stopped simply because I was free from one big disease, which is responsible for a great contributor in negative emotion. Do you all know what that is? I told you in the very, but there's a name for it, and I will share that name for it. But the very beginning, I told you all that there are just 2 people. One is you and one is me. Did I tell you? There was a reason for it. सबसे बड़ा रोग मेरे बारे में क्या सोचेंगे लोग? क्या? The biggest disease in the world is what the person next to you and people whom you don't even know, they think about you. I was with a person and that person was going through some negative emotion and that person started crying and it was a public place. And that person was telling that, sorry to make you feel bad and embarrassed. I don't want to share my relationship with the person or what it is. And I said, forget about others. Ask yourself, are you feeling good? That person said, wow, I never looked at it in this way. When I used to cry, the need of love. Have you written it? I'll go slow. Tell me what all you have written so far. Some people are still writing it. I'll repeat it once again. What? There is no chronological order, so let me ask from you. What did I say? The need of certainty, the need of growth, the need of fulfillment, the need of variety, the need of love, the need of feeling fulfillment. You see, this is the primary needs of everybody, whatever they are doing. In your life, if there is no certainty, what will you feel? You will feel low. You will experience negative emotions. If you do not know whether in your life you will get a job or not, how are you going to feel? So very, very important, the first thing is, in your life, what are you certain about? You need to have a list. And I want you to write a list right now in your mobiles, without discussing it with the person next to you, because until and unless you have a list of certainty, in whatever you are doing. Make it very, very relevant in your life. Whatever activity you are doing, like right now you are coming to this classroom. Every day you go to the classroom. What are you certain about there? Are you genuinely loving what you're doing? Are you feeling deeply fulfilled by learning whatever you're learning? Do you find a certain kind of a variety? So you can induce variety. Every day, I'm telling you this practically. A person in IIT Bombay applied this. He's saying every day, what he does is, when he opens his book, he just does it. He'll just turn it like this and he'll open. Just instead of opening it normally, he'll just open it a bit. You might be surprised to know it works. It practically works. So it will become like a very lengthy thing if we allow everyone to. Are you writing it down? Are you creating a list? Now you all can observe this for yourself. If in your life, if the values of certainty, the list of certainty is low, you will feel very, very low in your life. If there is no variety in your life, you will experience a certain, as if your life is not moving. If every day, the last 6 days, did you all have only poha or only chapati in the breakfast? What do you have for breakfast? Yeah. Usually what do you have? Cornflakes. What did you say? Paratha. So every day paratha you have?
A variety of things.
See, need of variety. समझ में आ रहा है? Are you in every area of your life you are applying the need of variety without even knowing. Same color shirt and pant. Are you being married? Why? Need of variety. If one phone or any company launches the same phone for a very long time, what will happen to that company? It will become extinct. Just see this. Why did pagers become extinct? Because there was no advancement. Why today's companies are more successful? Because every day they are innovating. You need to understand one thing. They are playing a very, and they are catering a very powerful need of yours. That is a need of variety. You did not go to Steve Jobs when he was alive and told, hey Steve, can you get some latest model phones? We got bored of ours. You did not go to him and say, we got bored of the Sony. Can you develop a device which will have so many songs, which I can put it in my pocket, which I can call it as an iPod? Did you tell him? This is something that you'll also have to ask yourself. Many a times people suffer and go through negative emotions because there is self-negligence. What is it? If you do not ask yourself every minute, how are you feeling? If you are in a classroom, how are you feeling? If you are learning what you are doing, it is the greatest injustice that you will be doing to yourself. Today, negativity can strike you from any corner because we are in an age of psychological warfare. Anybody can tell anything about you. A person who doesn't know anything about you can simply say, hey, what kind of a hairstyle you have? The other day, when I was giving an advertisement, someone was telling me, you please trim your beard. Why do you want a beard? I'm telling you all these kinds. I'll tell you how things happen and how you can work on it. And I'll give you a very practical example, okay? Very practical example. There are a lot of videos of mine, and one of the videos I was using, where I was talking and I was using the sense of significance. Why do people own Mercedes? Why do people own BMW? Why do people own, latest model mobiles? Why? So, Everybody aspires for a good car, right? Have you ever thought? Feeling of significance. Now you see how what happens, and if you are not trained yourself, what can happen? So there was one commercial I was shooting, and there's a series of ads I was doing, and I was driving in my BMW X3. So one of the persons over there constantly, very constantly, he's saying that you have only gone to these places, but come and get into my profile and see I have gone into a lot of places. And when, as I told you, every day is not a nice day. It is not for you, it is not separate for me also. And if I did not have this process, I would have gone into great troubles within myself. I would have stopped all campaigns and it would have not done good to me. I replied to him that I don't have time genuinely to get into his profile and watch. Then you know what was the reply? Oh, you have all the time to post with your 7-year-old BMW X3. What was he trying to do? He's trying to reduce my value. Hit where it pains. See, suppose if I have associated my value with that car, I would have felt very bad. Now you see many of you, what are you associating your value with? What are you associating your value with? I associate my value purely with the indisposable reality, that is knowledge. That's why they say, Vidwan Sarvatra Pujyate. What kind of an information are you holding in your life? Nobody can steal it away from you. That's why this learning, that's why these institutions. Here nobody, actually gives you marks on the basis of what vehicle you are coming, what dress you are wearing. You are wearing a good dress, so good marks. Oh, you are not wearing good dress, so bad marks. No. Purely on the basis of merit. Yes or no? So ask yourself this very finite question. Whatever you are learning, now you are learning something here. How can you put it into life where it will also translate into productivity for yourself and others? How many of you are planning to get into a job here? Everybody. Raise your hands. Let me have a look at it. Almost everyone, right? Why do companies pay you money? To just use your skills, to use your time. And you will feel very great that you have got a job. But there is a website called Gallup. Have you heard about it, Gallup? Gallup Survey, have you ever heard of it? So Gallup Survey states that over 95% of the people who are working in an organization are never very happy with their job. You can ask anybody, no matter which position they are in, which place they are in, they are never ever happy. Just because they have not identified how to use variety in their own workplace. Dekhiye, you are all coming to this class, you will all be coming to this campus. What is the use of every day you are coming and feeling low? You are just living. You are slowly dying, slowly dying every day without any excitement in your life. Only you will get excited when you are watching a movie. You will get excited, suppose you are watching your favorite film star, you get to see them, or a holiday. Let's say tomorrow morning you are all going to Goa for a holiday. See, just that imagination, a lot of people are smiling. You are not even going, but you are all smiling already. So do this activity, what I shared with you every day in the morning about wishing each other as why you are there in the campus form. And then I will be sharing right now with you a very practical process. But for that, I need all your cooperation, because this is not a motivational lecture. If it was a motivational lecture, it was good. I could just, which I used to do in 2008, 2009, nice PowerPoint slides, 2-3 nice videos, nice music, then nice dance, then just link very happy pleasure, take you to pleasurable state inside, and just pop up 2-3 nice messages, finish. Just like manipulating you, like Coca-Cola. What is Coca-Cola? Sweet drink, sweet sugar water. You all know, right? It's all written there also. Cigarette, what is it? Do you all know? Have you ever seen that Marlboro advertisement? Marlboro, that cigarette Marlboro.
No idea, sir.
So that there was one, nice, hunky-looking man, topless, good muscles. He had a Ferrari car. Then he used to drive. He used to ride a nice horse. Then with nice, good-looking girls. Then he used to put this and smoke Marlboro. So every man who used to smoke in America used to think, I'll also get a beautiful girl if I smoke a nice Marlboro. Have you seen these commercials? Very important. Because it's something which happens as neuro-associativeness. You begin to associate, and that is the biggest manipulation. So we need to associate something which is going to grow us, not break us. Whatever is done, we are all under the influence today. So many things comes. We are in the age of information overload. Today you take YouTube, you just press, you can get so many motivational talks, don't you? I'm not here to give you something which you will get in plenty. I'm here to share with you something which very rarely at very rare places you find. And this is something that you can do daily. If you get up in the morning and you do not brush your teeth, how many people came without brushing your teeth? Don't tell me. But most of you have brushed your teeth. Why do you brush teeth? Why do you bathe? You have all come to engineering. Have you come to your engineering straight after you were born? No, right? You have gone through schooling, then you are inter, then one exam, then you come here. You are doing constantly an activity in your life because of which you are here. And you are also not very excited. You are not saying, hey, maza aa gaya aapke college aaye. Morning I am waking up to go to my class. This professor is coming, yippee, I am going to take his class. Not happening. You are missing out. You are missing out on so many emotions you can create. You have to associate more pleasure with your subject because you have to anyway learn it. So that is something I am going to be sharing with you. How to go through a learning or go through your subjects that you don't like in a pleasurable way. Does it sound good?
Yes, sir.
How to attend lectures which are not exciting in a non-boring way. Because the seat of your experience is within you. Two incidences in a similar way. When it happens to two different people perceive it completely differently. Yes or no? Did you get what I'm saying? Did you understand? Let's say a person has fallen on the floor. Very simple thing. And there is a banana peel. Both stepped into the banana peel and both the person fell. One person might feel angry on the person who has put this banana peel and he may simply walk unattended. Another person might feel concerned with the banana peel and he might take it and put it. And he will be clear the next time that on the road there are chances that there are people who will put banana peels and there are chances that I might slip and fall and therefore I must be very, very cautious. See the way in which two people have looked at it. The person who was angry on the person, I'm just giving you a very simple example. The person who was angry on the person because that is not his mistake. Someone else has done something. Uski galti ki saza main kyun bhugnu? You might have experienced many times. Two people, meet with an accident and the whole road is completely jammed. Have you seen this experience? Thoda gaadi lag gaya, the person will just open the door and start fighting on the road. Have you not witnessed it? Common sight, right? So this person again the next day he will go like that and he will slip and he will fall. Why? Because somewhere he has not learned what he is supposed to learn. He has not perceived the information. The experience of your time and the experience of your emotion is largely on the basis of what meaning you give to whatever has happened to you in life. Please listen to this very, very clearly. You may want to write it down also. Write this down because you may forget it. It is the meaning that you give to the situations that happen in your life that is going to determine how you are going to experience time and your emotions. Was it clear? You want me to repeat it more slowly?
Yes, sir. Repeat it.
It is the meaning that you give to any situation that you experience in life that determines how you feel, how you respond. Make a note, everyone make a note of it. It's very, very valuable. And you can see this in all the areas of the life. The 3 stories that I shared with you. There are lots of people who have failed in the class. I have failed. Is there anybody who doesn't have a backlog? Some of you might have backlogs. Nobody has backlogs? Excellent. Amazing students. Great. So that was not the case with me. That was not the case with a lot of people. Some people are very easy and they will go low. Some people might think this is not important to me, they will choose some other profession. Some people, who are into relationships. Suppose you get into a relationship and someone hurts you badly. Suppose you are getting into a relationship and someone cheats you. How you are going to learn? What are you going to learn in that? Very, very important. As I told you one thing, very importantly, you must largely have control over how you stimulate your emotional states. Every day in the morning, I wake up and I say, thank you for being alive to myself. Because as we are speaking right now, if you go to the website, in Google you can download, you can just Google it. Just Google this. How many people are dying this moment? Right now. And tell me the numbers. You only tell me the numbers. Right now, how many people are dying in the world? What is coming? Which network you all are using so slowly? जामस है क्या? अच्छा किसी को आ नहीं रहा है? वो स्लो है। आ रहा है नंबर्स आ रहा है? ये 2,17,000 में अगर आप और डिटेल और गहराई में जाओगे, so there are lots, and I'm not telling some cooked up facts. Am I saying cooked up facts? You can see that, right? Am I saying something cooked up? It's reality. We have 2,17,000 people, whatever you are telling right now, and how many today they have died, when they have died? Per day. See the numbers. These lakhs of people, in these lakhs of people, they may be somebody's friends, somebody's parents, somebody's close relatives, somebody may have lost their wife, somebody may have lost their child. Time is very, very valuable, I am saying to you. It can happen just like that. Just like that. In this recent times of COVID, so many people have lost their near and dear ones. So one thing you all must decide right now is, thank yourself whenever you wake up in the morning that you have yet another day to actively engage with life. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you one thing. Boys and girls, I want to say you something very, very specific. Pay very, very close attention to this. These numbers that you are seeing on screen, these people may not have an opportunity again to come back and have a good time with life. You people have it. You all have it. Every one of you have it. So when you come to this classroom, it is a great opportunity to speak nice words about one another, to do something which is worthwhile in your life. Have you come here to party? Have you come here to make boyfriends and girlfriends? Have you come here to have dream parties? So whenever you slip because of pleasure, short-term pleasures, you might encounter long-term pains. Be aware of them. The biggest problem in life is not being aware of it. So first thing is, every day in the morning, what will you say? Over a period of time, you will start producing thoughts which will value your life and start appreciating your life. One thing is, you will not often come across, we have a group, and over the first 12 days in that 2,000 members, there are so many business heads. In WhatsApp I'm talking about. It's like a broadcast list. You have broadcast list, you can put up to about 5,000 or 6,000 people, I think. There are 2,321 people actually as of now, as I'm speaking with you. Every day for the first 3 days of the activity, we used to wish each other thank you for being born. Simple this word. How many of you have heard this statement, thank you for being born? Did your parents ever tell you this? It's very important when you say, when one of your friends said lonely, I can feel what she said because I have gone through the same states. When someone said, different thoughts come to my mind. Generally, people try to avoid it with smoking, drinking. A lot of people say today that, sir, aaj ke bache na bahut smoking kar rahe hain, drinking kar rahe hain. A lot of professors recently had a workshop. About 12,000 people would have participated in that. Indirectly and directly. It was organized by ACEIT across India. And a lot of professors, connect with me in mail, and most of the common thing I hear is that students have become disrespectful. They don't respect. The first most important thing, I shared it as a general thing, is very, very important. Very important. I heard the story somewhere and I want to share that story with all of you. There was one boy, his name was Arya. Any name you can give, but his name was Arya, let's say, and he was very, very, shabby. His hair was, uncombed, and he was in his 4th class, and his teacher used to take his name as the bad example. Anything bad, don't be like Arya. Anything worse, don't be like Arya. And then at the end of the day, there is something called progress report. We all had this report card called progress report, right? Now, why I want to share the story with you is I want you all to understand, until and unless you work at the cause, you will not be able to resolve. Today, if you are stressed and you immediately do something like watch a movie, play music, go to a nice party, talk a little few things, it might work. Watch a motivational video, it might work. But you should not get stuck there. And I'm going to share this, that's why the story is quite relevant. And at the time of this progress report, the teacher wrote so many different things. So the headmistress called the teacher, class teacher. We all had class teachers, right? Was it class teachers? Yes, right? So the class teacher, she called and said, the progress report means there should be something progressive. I don't see any progressive things that you have written about Harry. He said, madam, you can suspend me, but I have nothing to talk about this boy. Nothing good to talk about this boy. Because this boy is shabby. This boy does not pay attention, something or the other he keeps doing. I have nothing good to talk about it. So the headmistress, she pulled out another, because they will have the details. She pulled out the last few LKG, UKG, first class, second class, third class progress reports, and she simply handed over to this class teacher. And she said, whenever you have some free time before lunch, please go through them. So very reluctantly this teacher took, and she was watching all these things. And in LKG, the progress report states, Arya is one of the most active students. Very exciting. He's very excited about the class. UKG report, with a lot of surprise, this teacher reads it. And it says, Arya is very energetic. She's not able to believe, Arya is energetic. This word doesn't match. First class, Arya is very, very innovative in his questioning and approach. He keeps asking a lot of questions which are very good. He's going to become something. Second, Arya has become a little disturbed. Second class report clerk. Maybe there is some issue with him we need to look on. Why there was progress card, I will tell you this. Progress card initially was a very fantastic system created, because when you go to the next class, the previous class, whatever report is being given about you, based on which the teachers used to attend to you. The third class states that Arya has become more quiet, more centered, because he's lost his mother and he needs immediate guidance, immediate attention. If we don't pay attention, we will lose it. And this teacher, whose name was Madam Mary, while she was going through these, she was experiencing deep, deep pain. She was in tears as she was reading this. And she said, after a few days, she just said, every day after that, and she was also the class teacher the next year. So she said, for every good thing she used to take Arya's name. Be like Arya, you must do this, you must do that. Arya is a good boy, Arya is a wonderful person, Arya is a nice person. All of it. Few years go by. Teacher is retired, and she gets a nice invitation, one of the most expensive invitation, and it was Arya's wedding. And she was escorted in a very, very nice flight. Nice flight ticket was sent to her, and she was received well in the airport in a very nice car. And when she reached the venue, she was brought into the very, very first row. So she said, Arya, do I deserve all these things? Why me alone? Why have you brought all these things to me alone? In fact, I remember I might have treated you very badly. Then Arya said, Madam Mary, do you remember? Do you remember that it was 5th class, the last day, and you were giving the progress report, and then everybody, because when they used to go from, there are different rituals in different campuses, different schools have different rituals, and one of the rituals in that school was, after 5th class, there will be a separate section of people. You will be completely disconnected with the previous set of people. Previous teachers, you will be disconnected. So I want you to remember that after 5th, you might have perhaps never ever met Madam Mary. But he remembered Madam Mary. He said, do you remember that everybody were giving a little gift to you? I also gave a gift to you. I also gave one gift to you. Do you remember that gift? So she said, I don't remember. Sorry about that, but I don't remember. So he said, Madam Mary, I remember that incident quite well in my life, because that was a defining moment in my life. And what was the defining moment? I remember I having given you one perfume which was used, clothed completely in a completely small wrap. and everyone was looking at me because it was given in a very shabby way. You did not open any other gift. You simply took that and you just sprayed it on your body. And I came near you and I told you that now you smell like my mother. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you one thing. When we're using this word called mother, when we use this, a whole range of emotion comes to us. Yes or no? Yes or no? What does it mean? It's inclusiveness. You need to understand. Mother doesn't necessarily mean a woman from whom you are born. Mother essentially, why we say Bharat Ma? Why do you say this Ma? Why do you don't say Bharat Pita? Why don't you use this? You need to understand the intention behind it. Anybody who includes, we are all looking for inclusion. And loneliness, depression, negative emotion, everything comes simply because we are not included in our life. So you have to become that Madam Mary in your life. You can't expect everybody to have a professor or somebody. Don't expect. Now that you are into self-stimulation mode, you be your best companion. Best companion means to treat yourself well. I'm asking you all this question. What have you done to treat yourself well this week? Forget about, what's your age? What's the average age here?
20.
19, 20? I'm not asking you in the last 15 years or 16 years or 13 years how you have treated yourself. I'm asking you in the last 1 week, how have you treated yourself? What can you say? If I ask you, can you tell me how many times you have actually laughed? You know what I mean, actually laughed? Not laughing when somebody cracks a joke on some person. Not watching some stand-up comedy and when people make fun of one another when you are laughing. That's not laughing, that's called sadism. I'm asking, when did you actually laugh? When did you feel very good about your existence? This is what will determine how you are going to experience your life. I wish when I was at your age, or even much younger than you, someone would have told me to start doing this. Start having one particular GB or 1 GB space in my mobile. Today we are all having mobiles. Have 1 GB space where you can say that before I am sleeping, these activities I have done because of which I am feeling joyful. Does it feel good? Until and unless you do these activities, don't say that you will write that after 3 days someone picks up that and he reads, "Aaj maine daru piya, maza aaya mujhe." Today I have, instead of having 2 puffs, I had 6 puffs. I feel very good. Today I tried out something very nice. Huh? How is it impacting your life healthily, related to your work, related to what all you are studying? What have you done which is making you feel nice? Understand this. So far what has happened in your life, forget it. Right now, you are all going through that Google. You are seeing that numbers. So when you are waking up in the morning tomorrow, you are woken up today, I want you all to feel nice and appreciate that you are all woken up. Clap for yourself. Clap for yourself. And also, and this is not a joke, I'm telling you this. Genuinely, when people die, a lot of people come and gather and they will tell all good words to that person. When the same person was alive, they would have tortured that man. I know a lot of, telling you this, you please understand this. Your life, until and unless you start valuing life, nothing on top of it will work. You understand the basics. Next is the 6 needs. I don't know if you have all written it. There's this video which will be available, you can watch it again. But it would have been really good if everyone has written the 6 needs. Because these things are where you have to apply the pain and pleasure. And understand there is also a certain activity which is called as what is it that you are relating, what is it that you are not relating. Whenever you are going through loneliness, you know exactly what is happening in your body. Do you feel lonely sometimes? Do you feel it would be very nice if there was somebody to whom you can truly speak your heart out, not be judged? You know, I'll tell you this thing. There are lots of youngsters who come up to me and they say, sir, you know, we are wasting a lot of time watching porn. Why do you think they come up to me and say? Why do you think if you go to my website, mindpowerreality.com, is there here? I don't know, they're not written it here. But okay. I don't want you to click like and put all those comments and put me into that bad habit again. But now anyway I will not get into that trap. But you can go to Facebook and you can check the last 3 days of my activities as to how I am building pleasant memories. I want you to do this. Just go to your Facebook and just type Karthik Poovanam, that's my name, and see what activities am I doing. Is there the 6 needs involved in it? Is the 6 needs are happening there or not? Need of variety, need of feeling love, need of significance. Am I self-inducing it? Every day in your life, I am telling you this, don't worry about people, and you will see it very clearly over there. None of my activities have stopped because there is 1 like, 2 likes, 3 likes, no comments, nothing. Many people are shocked, they come up to me and they say, how is it, sir, that you are so engaged? How is it that you are going to so many places? How is it that you are living fantastically? When because somewhere many people think we are living in Facebook today. We are not living in a house. We are living in Instagram. We are living inside Facebook. Now what has come? Clubhouse? You know Clubhouse, right? These are fantastic instruments. I use Facebook, for selling my digital products. That's it. Beyond that, it doesn't make much of a difference. I like to connect with people. I'll connect with them either when they send messages. I will read many of them. I will create videos and I will post them in YouTube. Yes. You want to ask a question? 1 minute. Let me just complete. I'll come to you. Yeah. Different things. Different. Have you seen it? Is my page opening, everybody? You can see that, right? So you people, every one of you, when you have come to this classroom, for the first time, you are having thousands of GB which you can store information without paying a single penny. Thousands of GB of free space is being provided to you. What are you using that space for? Are you using that space to go to somebody's wall and simply comment something nasty, something rude? Or are you going to use it? Today I came to classroom and I learned something nice. Today I did this so that I feel good about myself. Not because Soni, Rani, Sonakshi, whatever names, so many different names you want to call, have liked and said you are living a good life. Not because my uncle says that I have chosen the right profession. Not that today somebody has come in and told that you are walking the nice path. You all get this? Yes or no? Let your life be in your control. Most negativity will happen the moment somebody will say something bad to you and you will feel low. It's a very, very big trap, I'm telling you this. I interact with so many cops across the country, you might have seen right now. Have you seen it? You see that recently in Udaipur? The way they come up, the way they talk to me, simply because I have nothing called judgment. Why I don't judge? Basically because I value myself. If you start valuing yourself, you will not judge others, you will not have time to judge others. You will not have time to make altu-faltu comments about others. I can tell you with a lot of integrity that in the last 7 years of my life, I have never ever spoken bad about any person. It's not that there is no bad in people. There are good, there are bads. In me also there are good and bads. There are goods and bad in other people. But at the end of the day, it's whether I am growing or I am not growing in a positive manner. Whether my growth is happening in a legal, ethical, moral manner or it is not happening in a legal, ethical, moral manner. This is all the difference is what you need to focus on. So one thing, always understand, the reason I shared it with you is, if a person can feel very, very confident, very, very nice about himself, very, very active about himself, without any appreciation from people when it is a social currency that matters more, you all know that. You all can do that much, much effectively. And you have to start practicing it. If you are trapped based on what others are thinking about you, understand it. Everything that other person says will affect you. Now in my workshop, I will ask feedback from people. I'll make the needed changes and I will develop. But I will not be bothered if someone says, Sir, thoda exercise kar lo, thoda weight kam hua to acha rahega. It's up to me. I will choose it when I want to. I'm just giving a vague example. Sir, do some activities here and there. Do this, do that. Or many people, many youngsters are telling you, if I show you those mails, you'll be shocked to see because you will be able to relate yourself there. They say, I started feeling so bad when people are talking like this about me. I feel judged. When I was with the cyber crime department, and these details are also available in internet, you can see over 80% of the searches are for porn. So obviously there will be people here. So why would people consume something? Pleasure. You don't want to avoid pleasure. Nobody wants to avoid pleasure. If you want to change something, you need to associate and link it with pain. Please understand this. If there is any behavior which you feel you need to change, one very, very simple technique is to associate with pain. Massive pain. Massive pain in life. There are people, who are living a very, very incredible, rich life simply because they wanted to avoid pain. They don't want to live in poverty. Massive pain. When you're having massive pain, you will have massive reasons to not, because your brain is designed to avoid pain and go near pleasure. Please repeat this. My brain is designed, is it not true? My brain is designed, wired to protect me from pain and gain more pleasure. You're not pleasure seekers. You go into job, it's for pleasure because you will get salary. But when you go there, you will know it is completely a different game. You need to think, that's what I'm saying. Think very, very clearly in terms of pain and pleasure. When you are getting into a relationship, ask yourself, will you be very, very comfortable? Will you be very, very nice if that person is not there in my life also? Then get into that relationship. If you are going to get hurt very, very badly, don't get into that relationship. Very important. You are into some habit like smoking and drinking, or you are feeling very, very bad that you are spending a lot of time, watching unnecessary things. Instantly link it with pain. What is the pain? What pain? What is the painful things that can come? So we don't have much time, because the time is quite limited. Otherwise, there is like a 7-hour activity which happens. Probably the next time if I'm passing through Jaipur, maybe we can have it, or online it can happen. How you can systematically use pain and pleasure. We'll do a very small activity. Are you ready? Keep all your mobiles in your pocket. Keep them in silent mode, every one of you. hands down. And I remember my boy wanted to ask a question, so before that, if somebody can give him the mic. Can somebody help him with the mic? I'm just having some water with your permission.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, one question in my mind.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
Sir, Nabil Yadwanshi from Mechanical Engineering.
Sorry?
Nabil Yadwanshi from Mechanical.
Yeah, hi Naveen. How are you?
Fine.
See, after the process, I'm applying it also now. I'm asking you all, how are you all feeling, by the way, so far?
Good, sir.
Do you feel you are using your time wisely? So this is something you have to ask yourself every day. Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, one question in my mind. That I have two goals to achieve necessary.
You have to?
Two goals
Yeah.
to achieve necessary. If I would achieve one goal, then how to achieve second goal as soon as possible without affecting first goal.
So you're talking about prioritization basically. The problem in prioritizing, right? As I understand it right.
Sir,
you have two goals which is very necessary. You said,
yes, sir.
if you achieve one goal and another goal you are not able to achieve, how to achieve that? Or if you achieve one goal, you have to miss the other goal. You have to sacrifice.
Not miss first.
I didn't understand your question. Okay. You have two goals.
सर पहला गोल मैं अचीव करेगा, सेकंड करना चाहता हूँ, लेकिन जो फर्स्ट जॉब है ना उसको कोई अफेक्ट ना।
अच्छा, ओके, तो आपकी दुविधा ये है कि आपने गोल अचीव कर लिया है, हाँ वही बता रहे हो ना? करोगे?
हो जाएगा।
अच्छा, हो जाएगा, लेकिन आप अगर सेकंड गोल को अचीव करेंगे, तो फर्स्ट गोल को कुछ खतरा हो सकता है क्या, है ना? ये पूछ रहे हो?
कोई इफेक्ट ना पहुंचे और उनको पहले भी कैसे कर।
Okay, let me simplify it for everybody. So what Naveen is asking is, he has two goals, and correct me if I am telling it properly. He has two goals. He has going to achieve one goal, right? That's all. He will achieve one goal, so please sit down. He will achieve one goal, and after achieving that goal, he will put some time and energy on second goal, right Naveen? So his fear, and he's having little fear or doubt that will it not impact the first goal. So first of all, I want to ask you, it's like very vague you have said, there is no clarity in what is it exactly. I don't understand what is that goal, okay. Maybe you don't want to share it in public, that's different. But basically, it's also not prioritization. Is it something you are very certain about that, you know the first goal will be affected and it is troubling you, that's what you are saying?
सर एक एग्जांपल जैसे
हाँ एग्जांपल दीजिए क्योंकि बहुत कॉम्प्लेक्स दिख रही है।
किसी कंपनी में काम कर रहा हूँ और यूपीएससी सिविल सर्विस की तैयारी कर रहा था पहले कैसे
ये आपकी ही परेशानी नहीं है, सबकी परेशानी, बहुत लोगों की परेशानी है। तो आप पहले ये बात मान के चलिए नवीन कि आप अकेले नहीं हो इसमें। हाँ, तो आपने जो पहले बता दिया तो you would have been very good. I told you two very important things, pain and pleasure, right? So you need to ask yourself, are you willing to go through the pain if the first thing is getting affected? If you are willing to embrace it, go ahead with the second. If you are not willing to take risk, you will not have the possibility of enjoying the pleasure also. Until and unless you are willing to accept the pain, it's just like this, right? If a woman is not willing to go through the pain that she is going to go through while she is delivering her baby, obviously she will not be in a position to deliver the baby, yes or no? Yes or no? It's such a painful process. But something very beautiful happens, that is the birth of life happens. So you need to ask yourself, Naveen, and all those people who have this kind of question, whatever you are risking in your life, is it worth risking? Quality questions determine quality life. It's a brain tattoo, please use this. Quality question. What kind of question you use and you ask on a day-to-day basis will determine what kind of a life you will be leading. That means, every day if you ask, have you ever asked this question, why are you coming to the classroom every day? How many people have asked? Please raise your hand. This. One person. I know without backing an eyelid, 95% of the people have never ever bothered to even ask. You have never even bothered to ask as to why you are there. What time usually you people wake up? 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock? 7. What time you usually sleep after all your chatting and all? What time you sleep? 12 o'clock? 11 o'clock? Let's say you are all sleeping at 10 o'clock. Is that fine? Common 10 o'clock? No. One person get up and tell me the time in which most of you are sleeping. 11. Okay, give 11. Okay, let it be 11, 1 or whatever it is. Okay. I'm just telling for the example's sake. For the sake of example, let all your friends also listen, everyone. 11 p.m. you are sleeping and let's say you are waking up at 7. How many hours? 8 hours. Then you have to get up, brush your teeth, go here, there, everything. Bathe up, take rest, eat breakfast, all of those things. 1.5 hour, 1 hour. 9 hours. Then traveling time to the college. Put all that. Dump it in that bag. Hurriedly, huh? And then we sometimes anxiousness. Today professor asked you to do and you have not done. Come with little level of anxiety, everything. No, we carry, no, along with books, something more we carry. What are they? Anxiety, worry. So all those baggage along with the bag, you come. Then you listen to the lectures. From what time to what time? Now you see, I didn't do this wantedly. I was just about to sleep. Did you notice? Suddenly became aware. So if you are aware, you will not fall down. If I was not aware, I will fall down. And then maybe you know that video will play. Jokes apart, but what time you go back home? After going to canteen, I'm telling you, truly what time you go back home? 6 o'clock, right? So how many hours have gone? 9 plus 8, how many hours have gone? How many hours is left back in your home? There is a detailed video about time management which I will be sharing with you, all that link, which happened in Ahmedabad, quite useful for all of you. Very, very important. Ask yourself during these times, did you experience any level of, intense joy? How many moments of intense joy, that means consciously you have stimulated dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, endorphin. You see, this is a possibility right now with all of you. Whenever I am right now, when I am talking to all of you, people generally ask me, I want to share this with you. From the last 6 7 days I'm completely traveling solo on road. I'm driving my own car, I'm just traveling. And next, yesterday I was in Udaipur, before that I was in Ahmedabad, tomorrow I'm going to be in Delhi. Every day there is active engagement. I sleep for 3 hours. Do I look like a person who is tired? Why? Simply because I have used this one of the need called need of fulfillment. Please understand this. Doesn't matter, you can go to YouTube and there will be a lot of videos, only entrepreneurs see those videos. When you type the same name Karthik Poovanam, you will see a lot of people who are multi-billionaires. Literally who are earning hundreds of crores with their live testimonies, with their live participation videos are there. Why do you think they are so active? A simple thing, all you need is, why I told you about all those rich people is, they never ever found happiness in their luxury toys. They never ever found luxury in the vehicles that they are driving. They never ever find luxury in anything. Like today, with God's grace, I can tell you, I have reached a certain state where I could, I want to buy a CNG car because my existing car doesn't give mileage. I went to Delhi, I bought that car second hand. Just to travel. Put CNG and easily travel, because why to go to flight, open everything, you have to open belt, you have to then remove shoes, put it there, wasting a lot of time. And enjoying, self-enjoyment, whatever I am giving, not necessary that you should accept. If only you will say that my life is good, or my friends will say my life is good. No. Likewise, because there is a sense of fulfillment. When I am adding value to people's lives, I feel there is a sense of fulfillment. There is no money exchange that is required. This is what happens in true relationships. ना मतलबी होने का मतलब यही है, when you are saying मतलबी नहीं होना चाहिए, you should not be a person who is simply materialistic. What you all are saying is, I am longing for a fulfillment in life. You are making a declarative statement that I am longing for. So when you are more fulfilled, what happens is, your body actually needs rest, not sleep. Your body gets rejuvenated when it is more rested. How many of you experience very restful sleeps? How many of you, go through dreams in your sleep? Don't worry, I'm not asking what all are the dreams. Okay? Then this is not restful. Maybe pleasant or unpleasant, but this is not restful. Rest comes when you are totally blank. And I will tell you one thing. Very, very important, if you are inculcating in your life, you can stimulate this. Right now you have so many members. You can use it to talk some very, very nice word about each other or yourself. Write it, feel nice. You can actively engage. You have that opportunity initially. You may have not reached that stage where you can self-stimulate it. Use it. Have the cooperation of the people next to you to stimulate this. How would it be? I told you this very important technique. Quality questions will determine the quality of your life. Yes or no? So ask this question right now. How will my life be if I am going to focus on a fantastic skill which the market is willing to pay me 30 lakhs or 40 lakhs or 50 lakhs package? How does it sound? See? Happy feeling. Bright. Dopamine is releasing. It has not happened. You may not right now have that skill. But already you are feeling, just the thought is stimulating. This is what is required. Quality questions. What will I gain if I am wasting my time? Ask this question and see. You will not waste your time. If you don't ask quality questions, you will become a victim of unconscious response. Please pay close attention to this. If you do not ask quality questions, you will become a victim of unconscious thoughts, unconscious activities. And what you are talking about, loneliness, stress, anxiety, worry, is all a result of unconscious activity happening inside at the level of your body, mind, emotion, and very energy. Where your focus is, there your energy flows. You may be here and you may be thinking of so many different things. You think 20 different things. Will it give you more energy or will it give you less energy? How many of you drive car and bikes here? Bikes? Okay. So you take that, let's say you're driving a car and you take the steering and you do this, you do that. What will happen? You will be a disaster not only for yourself, but you will also be a disaster for others. Now you see what's happening to you. You are here, I am talking, your thoughts are right now perceiving certain information, but at the same time, you are thinking of 100 different things, steering here, there, here. You lose energy. You are at a loss. I don't want you to be at a loss. I don't want you to lose in life because I know you also don't want to lose in life. The ultimate wastage of time is when you go through time in an unpleasant way with negative emotions. And it's very, very important to consciously stimulate it. And I will be sharing one very, very powerful process. I want you all to close that door so that next, nobody who goes out will come, so that this 3 minutes will be very, very more intense. Close that door, just, okay? Then come back again, no problem. So keep all that you have with you. Besides, keep your legs a little bit low, more relaxed. And you see, for this activity to happen at this maximum pitch, it cannot happen if there is little bit of noise and murmur also. It will not work out. Little bit of noise, little bit of sound, little bit of distraction. This process will not work for now because you people are probably, many of you might be doing it for the first time in your life. So therefore, maybe you all must take at least 10 seconds right now to get into a state and promise each other and promise openly that I will not disturb anyone. Promise this. Say, I promise, that I am not going to disturb anyone. Because I care for my well-being and also for the well-being of others. Now you see, you have made a promise. Do you want to be called as liars? Nobody likes to be called a liar. 3 minutes, all you have given is a 3-minute commitment. 3 to 5 minutes of commitment. If you break